talking about those managed projects, but still the projects, managing projects need some innovation or more resources on it. So when we are talking about business new idea, right now, this like if we take Uber as an example, and they are taking use of free resources of personal vehicles available in the market. On one hand, they are maximizing resources.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, they probably are challenging the current transportation regulation and even labor law in some countries.
Yeah.
Thus, the question is, why a new business model or a new project challenge the structure of a specific society and the lifestyle of local people, or even regulation or law system in that country? So how to react with this kind of challenge? As those project managers, they have to react to those challenges in overseas project plant.
Yes. Well, as I said before, disruptive technology is good for projects. The more disruption, the more projects we need. But Uber is an interesting example because it's a very simple idea, isn't it? People have spare capacity because their car's not doing anything. People want a lift. You put the two together. It's a very, very simple idea. It's enabled by technology. If it wasn't for the technology, it couldn't be done in real time, putting those two together. So the model is very simple, and it absolutely challenges the existing taxi market. That's a market that is very mature. It's existed since the horse and cart, probably, and is fairly complacent. They haven't innovated seriously for decades.
Okay.
We're struggling to think of serious innovation in the taxi market. I mean, they have radios now and sat-nav tracking, but
dispatch,
that's not huge innovation. Now they're being challenged, so naturally they're resisting that. But in my view, they can resist it, but they won't stop it, because if people want it, all they can do is delay it. They can use legislation to delay it, but if it's something that people find useful, then the taxi market needs to wake up and react to that, find their own ways of dealing with the same thing. Because it's not always the first to the market that wins, of course.
Okay.
You know, lots of examples. The iPad wasn't the first to the market, but actually took the market.
Okay.
So lots of examples like that. So that they just have to accept change is coming, and they better join in with it and make the most of it. You know, try and capitalise on the change rather than resist it. Because if they just resist, eventually they'll just get steamrolled.
Okay, and also as a government or as industry leader, whether they will be fostering those new ideas or pressing it down.
Yeah.
And how to balance the evil and angel part of those new business idea, new models.
Yeah. It is difficult because you're actually talking about people's jobs, people's lives, and we've seen this across lots of industries over the last few decades, the coal mining industry in the UK and steel and so on. And at the personal level, it's very, very tough because people lose their jobs when you disrupt a market. They lose their income, their families suffer, and that's terrible. But you can't pretend it's not going to happen. You know, if it doesn't change this time, it will change later.
So you mean that government should be directly facing the challenge?
I think they should face up to the reality of the challenge, and they should enable the challenge. They should help, in this case, the taxi market to adopt, you know, maybe help them to adopt to the new way of doing things. And maybe put some delays in place so that the Ubers of the world or whoever follows them can't move too quickly to overcome the market, to allow the market to adapt, to allow people and their jobs to adapt so that it eases the pain of the transition. But I don't think you'll ever stop it, because if it's something that people want, and Uber, as an example, is hugely popular all around the world now, so you can't stop it, it's there already. So I think you just have to recognise things have changed, things are moving on. The government's responsibility is to help people at a personal level, I think, and as an industry to adapt and change. And if it is the end of an industry, as in my lifetime the coal industry was ended in the UK, help people through that, find them, you know, retrain them, find them new jobs, help them make that transition.